After the tone, please record your name.
Call the February 16, 2024 Mojave County Board of Adjustments to order. Let's have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner McNally.
You would please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Commissioner Lettman?
Present.
Commissioner McNally?
Here.
Chairman Price?
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Call for a motion for the approval of May 12, 2023 Board of Adjustments. All in favor, indicate aye. Aye. Any opposed? Evaluation of, it carries, by the way. Okay, evaluation of a request for a variance to Section 35, setbacks and area requirements of the Mojave County zoning ordinance per Section 41 to allow a 0-foot side setback for an addition to an existing building on assessors parcel number 310-19240 in the Kingman vicinity, Mojave County, Arizona. In staff report, take it away.
The applicant has identified the location of the existing building and the railroad spur as reasons to require the reduction in setback requirements. The existing building has a 0-foot side setback along the same property line adjacent to the railroad spur. Due to the nature of the building function, the owner desires to have a proposed addition open to the railroad spur and without offset to match the existing building. The subject property does not appear to have special circumstances. The subject property does appear to have special circumstances or conditions that do not prevail on every parcel in the area. Having the railroad spur adjacent to the property instead of a shared property line with a neighboring property is a condition only some of the parcels in the area share. The railroad spur right-of-way creates approximately 45 feet of separation between the subject property and the neighboring property to the southeast, creating more space between the development on the two properties than the standard setback requirement would create. Due to the existing layout of the property and the location of the railroad spur, the applicant would like to utilize access to the railroad spur in the same capacity the current building on site is able to, with the new warehousing area open to and without offset from the existing railroad spur. Findings of fact. The lot configuration adjacent to the railroad spur in comparison to other lots in the area appears to be a special circumstance or condition applying to this property that does not prevail on every property in the area. It does not appear that the strict application of the regulations would result in a hardship for this property owner. It does appear that the strict application of the regulations would result in a hardship for this property owner, and that the granting of the application allows for the preservation and enjoyment of substantial existing property rights. The granting of the application will not materially affect the health or safety of persons residing or working in the neighborhood. It does not appear that the granting of the application would be materially detrimental to the public welfare or injurious to property or improvements in the neighborhood. It appears that the substantial conformity to standards previously established in the zone will still be secured. It does not appear that detriment or injury to the neighborhood will result from the granting of this variance as applied. Staff is recommending approval of the requested variance with the noted conditions. If you'd like to take a look at your screens, we have some pictures of the site. The first picture is taken from the right-of-way showing the existing building and the railroad spur adjacent to it. This is an aerial view showing the existing building on the property line and adjacent to the railroad spur, and it illustrates the distance between the adjacent property. This is a picture of the existing building on the property line at 0 foot, and the railroad spur adjacent to it. This is looking from the other direction. And this is the location of the proposed addition, showing the building existing on the property line and the railroad spur adjacent to. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, before I forget, we have a new deputy county attorney on board. Laura, you want to introduce him real quick?
Our new attorney representing the board is Jason Mitchell from the County Attorney's Office Civil Division. He's been with us since a long time, since Monday. So we'd just like to thank him. He does come from La Paz County, so we're excited to have him on board.
Welcome. All right. Open up for a public hearing. I understand we have Mr. Belden from Lomanco Events, and then we also have Mr. Fritz from Seabury Fritz Architects. So which of you wish to take the lead?
Morning, Mr. Chair, fellow members of the board.
Could you state your name, please?
Yeah, I'm just getting ready to do that.
Okay, sorry.
I'm Greg Fritz with Seabury Fritz Architects, and so I'm here just to talk about. I know we've all looked at this stuff, and I'll be able to answer questions if they arise, and provide any kind of guidance that I could. The project's located on the south corner of Mojave Airport and Interstate Way. So Lomanco, it's a manufacturing and warehousing operation. So they produce air vents inside of the existing building and also house materials there so they have shipping and receiving operations going on there most of the day, sometimes into the evenings. So that original building that we looked at there in the photos, that was built around 1980, 1985. So it's been there for a while. And that's a 54,000 square foot building, and we're proposing a 69,000 square foot addition that will house warehousing. So as we saw, we've got an existing building, 0 feet setback, and now we have a 5-foot setback requirement. And so in my mind, I'm thinking something changed in the zoning between, pardon me, when we built originally and where we're at now. So there are similar examples where we've got buildings in the air park with 0 setbacks. The building's right next door. It's a large, expansive building. That's all 0 setback. There are some buildings over at Laren, same situation. So with the building a 5-foot offset, it creates, it creates awkwardness with workflow and storage in that building. And so that's the reason we're wanting to reduce that to 0. So we've got racking, travel aisles for forklifts and so on. And so that 0 setback, it helps operation inside the building. So what we're doing, we're asking for the grant of relief from 5 foot to 0 foot, and I'd appreciate everybody's yes vote. Any questions, comments? All right, thank you.
No questions? Thank you. Anybody else on behalf of the applicant? Are there any others wishing to speak on the item? I'll close the public hearing. Does any commissioner have any questions?
No, I really, I see no issues with this particular application, and I really appreciate that the applicant is creating more jobs and investing in our community here.
I don't have any questions either, no. echo what he had said about the expansion of the business and bringing extra employees into the area.
I have a feeling most of us has one of those air vents on our properties right now. So, no, it's fantastic that the expansion for this company in this area and additional employment. All right, I'll now call for a motion.
I'll go ahead and move that the variance that's been requested be granted.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, carries. I guess we now adjourn. This is one of our shortest meetings. Thank you all for being here.